Whether you are looking to build a new career or kickstart that new idea that you've got,
Microsoft Reactor connects you with the developers and startups that share your goals.
Learn new skills, meet new peers, and discover the latest in technology.
Events are running around the clock, so join us anytime, anywhere.
Reactors are communities to connect. We want you to meet real developers and entrepreneurs just like you. Here you can get skilled up and learn from our product experts in the Microsoft Cloud and in open source. So watch us on demand and share your own perspective as we live stream in communities all around the world.
Hey there, everyone. Very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all are joining us globally. Yes, welcome to yet another episode of Copilot Chronicles. We do welcome you all. But before we start our today's event, let me introduce myself and read the code of conduct. I am Parth Varu, Events and Program Manager for Microsoft Reactor India. Let's go through our code of conduct. We are all here to learn together, participate together. So please be respectful of other people's views, understanding the differences, be kind and considerate in a way we all engage. Yes, we do encourage you all to participate. Please drop in all the questions in the chat section and we'll pick it up from there. Now, I would like to bring in Kamal, our event host from M365. She is a developer advocate at Microsoft. Hi Kamal, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Path. What a relief. The weather seems to be so nice.
Weather is really nice and there are so many good things that so many audiences reaching out about Copilot Chronicles. Let us ask the audience today. Hey there, you all, can you drop in a chat section from where you all are joining? Like from
That would
what
be,
country you all are joining in today? Yep.
yeah, that would be awesome. Definitely would love to interact. Wish we had some kind of an live interaction with the audience. That would be more
Sure, we could plan one event over Teams
definitely.
where we
We
could
should have.
have live interaction with them.
Yeah. All right. So without further ado, thank you so much, Path, and welcome again, everybody, to another episode of Copilot Chronicles. I know we've been quite busy last week with the Microsoft build a couple of weeks back, which was kind of an annual flagship event which happened between May 21st to 23rd, where it was kind of covering all the latest AI features for Windows and also the expansion of Copilot and its new capabilities, especially kind of the tools that developer would need and the cost efficient and user friendly solutions. That's very important for innovation. These all were kind of covered. Now today we're going to have Sarah. I'd like to welcome you, our speaker for today, who's a passionate technologist with over 17 years of experience. So it's almost like more than 15, so 15 plus, where his experience of driving digital transformation, and he's a visionary strategist with a deep expertise in AI. So he's going to cover all the latest advancement in Microsoft Copilot that was happening during the Microsoft build. It is kind of a refreshment. And also, if you missed few points, he's going to kind of cover it for you, and he'll also let you know how kind of Copilot goes behind the personal assistant to become a collaborative teammate, or whether it could be creating a custom Copilot assistant, or even in terms of reaching the extension part or introducing even the Teams Copilot in managing your projects. So he's going to cover all these aspects, and last but not the least, he's also going to cover all the security factors of it in the Power Pages. So if you've missed Microsoft Build to 2024 and you would love to have a refreshment on the Copilot, here it is. So,
Yes.
Sarah, the room is all
Yeah,
yours. So go ahead, welcome to the show, and looking forward for your session.
It's
yeah.
exciting. The
Thanks,
floor is all yours. Yep.
thanks, Path. Thanks, Kamal, for setting up a stage and a nice introduction.
Welcome.
So, yeah, we can start with the with this session wherein I will be discussing about what are the announcements that were made during the Build 2024. So let me quickly share my screen and yeah, all right. So is it moving? This okay. Let me reshare. It seems it is not coming in the presentation mode. Or part is it coming in the presentation mode?
I don't think so. It's in the presentation mode. You have to opt for it, I guess. You need
Okay,
to.
just give me a minute. Let me.
Sure.
Right. Is it better now?
Yep.
Okay. So, during this session, I will be covering about what's new with the Copilot Studio, what are new features that are coming in Copilot Studio this year, and then we'll talk about the Copilot in SharePoint, which was announced during this Build 2024, and how the Copilot plugins can be integrated within Viva connections. And then we'll talk about the announcements in Microsoft Teams in terms of Copilot, where it is uh, moving from just a Copilot or the Teams meeting assistant to a team member helping entire team. And then some of the announcements in the automation area. Okay, so from the before going into the detail of the announcements that are coming in Copilot Studio, let's take a brief overview of Copilot Studio. So basically, Copilot Studio is an end-to-end conversational AI product which helps develop custom copilots uh, which can fetch data from multiple data sources. It has facility to provide different actions, like you can integrate actions in your flow in the Copilot, and it you can also use generative AI and large language models to process your data and provide the more contextual responses in your Copilot. From the Copilot perspective, I would say first is like using the Copilot Studio, you can create custom Copilots or the enterprise-based Copilots, which can be further used across different business lines. And you can also develop third-party Copilots using Copilot Studio. Uh, in addition to this, you can also extend the functionality of first-party copilots like Copilot for M365 or Copilot for sales or Copilot for services. Uh, so through this Copilot Studio, you can get uh, benefits of underlying framework like a bot framework or SDK. You can uh, build Copilot for multiple channels. You can use Azure AI Studio or Azure AI services in your Copilots that you built in using Copilot Studio. So let's see this small video.
So we aren't able to hear the audio.
Hmm?
We aren't able to hear the audio.
Okay. Mm, let me let me share the screen again. What?
You can share it over the YouTube if you have.
Yeah, let me share it again.
Sure. No, still we can't hear the audio.
You can't?
No.
Let me try one last time.
Yep. Nope.
No?
Yeah. Yeah. I think the screen share is lost. Yeah.
With generative AI and a powerful dialogue builder, Microsoft Copilot Studio lets you create your own conversational experiences and make them available wherever users are across multiple channels. Click to create a Copilot and describe what you want it to support, providing instructions about behavior and tone, and point it to a website to further infuse it with data. That's it. In just these simple steps, your Copilot is instantly capable of rich, multi-turn conversations. Since Copilot Studio is a full end-to-end SaaS with no infrastructure to deploy or maintain, you can easily publish this to your support site or other channels like Microsoft Teams, so your customers or employees can use it quickly. Or you might want to further infuse your Copilot with additional knowledge by easily adding a number of different data sources from the Knowledge page. Including documents, SharePoint sites, Dataverse, and data from your CRM and ERP systems. Copilot authors no longer need to build and curate hundreds of dialogues for every question a user may ask. Just add your knowledge, your actions, and your topics, and your Copilot will do the rest. Copilot Studio can also extend and customize Microsoft Copilots, like Copilot for Microsoft 365, Copilot for Sales, and Copilot in Dynamics 365 Customer Service, enabling personalized, company-specific use cases with access to back-end systems that Microsoft Copilots don't have existing access to. Extending Microsoft Copilot really is that simple. And with Copilot connectors, you can once again leverage Power Platform connectors, Power Automate flows, or prompts. Once you publish to Microsoft 365, you've now unlocked additional ways Microsoft Copilot can support you and your organization. Microsoft Copilot Studio gives you the power to take actions on your data, backed with the security you've come to expect from Microsoft. Copilot building has changed forever, with unlimited ways to extend and enhance Copilots across a myriad of use cases. Thanks to Microsoft Copilot Studio. Try it now at aka.ms/try-copilot-studio.
All right. Uh, so through this Copilot Studio, we can do the entire end-to-end life cycle of creation of Copilot, wherein we can build the Copilot and publish it, and then we can monitor the Copilot execution, analyze the different actions that has been performed by the users, and we can further improve the Copilot responses and how the Copilot is working in different situations. So as you can see, like you can create and manage and publish Copilot through Copilot Studio. You can add additional knowledge base, which can be further like processed through Gen AI based models, and then you can also add specific topics which can and in addition to that, you can add actions and plugins within your Copilot to create end-to-end workflows. So there are like more than 10 channels on which you can publish your Copilots through Copilot Studio, and through the monitoring center in the Copilot Studio, you can monitor overall progress and the interactions that are happening in Copilot that you have developed through Copilot Studio. So let's see
Creating your own Copilot
how
is
we can.
incredibly
Yeah, so through this video, we'll quickly see how we can create a Copilot using Copilot Studio. So one thing you might have observed that the UI of the Copilot Studio is completely revamped, and it is more user friendly, and it has a lot more new actions and features.
simple with Copilot Studio. Let's say I want to create a Copilot to serve as an HR Copilot for Contoso. I start by simply describing my Copilot and what it will do in natural language. I also ask for it to be friendly but remain professional at all times. I'll also point my Copilot to Contoso's website so employees can ask questions about the company with the answers generated live based on the content, alongside all of the pre-existing knowledge baked right into the Copilot. Finally, I can even specify things I don't want the Copilot to talk about. Great! Now I can instantly test my Copilot right here and iterate on my instructions to further refine my Copilot as needed. Let's go ahead and ask, do employees receive an award after 5 years at the company? As you can see, my Copilot was able to find the information on the website and generated a contextual answer to my question. I can even ask follow-up questions like, how long will it take for it to arrive? And my Copilot is smart enough to know the context of what I'm asking about. Okay, this looks great. And just like that, my new Copilot has been created. I can see the instructions that have been generated based on my earlier answers, and I can easily make changes and iterate on these anytime I need to. The first thing I want to do is give my Copilot some more knowledge. As well as the public website I added earlier, I can add SharePoint sites, upload files, and point it to structured data stored in Dataverse or the Microsoft Graph. I can also leverage thousands of connectors to pull in data from third-party systems. For example, I have information related to training courses held in Dataverse, and I can easily add this to my Copilot's knowledge by using the new Dataverse knowledge source. I simply choose whichever tables I want to add, and in this case, I'll choose training course information. That's it. I've now equipped my Copilot with more information, and I can test it right away. Let's ask, what new training courses have been added in the last month? I can see from the citations that this answer came from my Dataverse tables, and the Copilot pulled the answer from just the right relevant rows in my table. Now, I can go ahead and just publish this to get it into the hands of employees right away. After just a few seconds, my new Copilot is published, and I can enable it on a wide variety of channels, like a website, a mobile app, or in this case, Microsoft Teams, which I can turn on with just a click.
Now, over in Teams, users can chat and get their questions answered instantly with my new Copilot.
And
Creating your own Copilot is incredibly simple with Copilot Studio. Let's say I want to create a Copilot to serve as an creating your
yeah, here we'll see like how we can use the analytics features in Copilot Studio.
Once Copilots have been deployed to users, it's vital to understand how it's being used, what is working well, and most importantly, where should you focus your valuable time on enhancing your Copilot. Thanks to the expanded built-in analytics in Copilot Studio, it's easy for me to get actionable insights. As a maker, I'm now able to understand the top themes of questions users are asking and review the top themes of user queries that my Copilot could not answer. This helps me identify major gaps and take immediate action to improve the performance. For example, as you can see in the new CSAT tab, there are two themes of user queries where users are dissatisfied. One when they're asking about the new updated vacation policy, and the second when they try to apply for short-term disability leave. I'm able to drill into those two themes and see that for the most frequently asked topic, there is a high escalation rate leading to dissatisfaction. I can even see content moderation metrics and easily see exactly where you don't have the necessary knowledge to answer the question. You now have full transparency and understanding of how you can improve these capabilities and actionable insights for the answers generated off of your existing data. I can see where my Copilot has blocked harmful content, jailbreak attempts, and ungrounded content, giving me confidence that my Copilot is secure. So let's give my Copilot some additional capabilities. For example, I would like the Copilot to check vacation balances and submit for time off approvals. To do this, I'll start by adding an additional file that has the vacation and time off policies for Contoso. This document includes various tables and rich media. Fortunately, with our new multimodal capabilities, which use GPT-4V, Copilots can now interpret images, diagrams, and tables embedded with documents. This enables Copilots to extract and relay crucial visual data along with scanning the text components of that knowledge source. Employees can now ask, how many vacation days do I get a year? And the Copilot can use and understand the table within this policy document to relay that they have 15 days since they've been with the company for less than 5 years. Continuing my efforts to address the escalation themes around vacation, I also want to add an action to retrieve the vacation balance for employees, so employees can easily find out how many days they have available. Vacation data is held in an external system, so I will add a custom connector to connect to that backend. As you can see, I can customize and configure the description and all of the inputs and outputs that are required. Finally, I want to build a topic to allow employees to submit a new disability leave request. Contoso has a step-by-step process that such requests need to go through for legal reasons. For scenarios where more control is needed and repeatable workflows need to be carried out, I can create a specific workflow for the Copilot to use when the user brings up a specific topic. Creating this is simple. I'll just describe the topic I want to create. Create me a short-term disability request, ask for the start date, how many days off the employee would like approval for, and if they've spoken with their manager about the request yet. As you can see, the topic has been created with everything generated for me. I can continue to iterate on this topic and expand it further. Let's go ahead and add a flow to look up the employee's manager and another action to send the request via email for approval. Now I can go ahead and test the topic and see each step of the dialogue successfully being carried out. I see all the information I need to get a time off approval sent to my manager. At this point, the Copilot can both provide generative answers over a set of knowledge and can trigger specific workflows for a specific need, which is a common enterprise ask. all within one system. And again, I can simply publish these updates and see them immediately reflected in the live Copilot deployed in Teams. Once Copilots have been
All right. So apart from that, there are some features that were announced during Build 2024 in Copilot Studio. Now Copilots can understand images and the tables. So like people can upload images or attach files in the Copilot that are developed using Copilot Studio. Next one is the agent capabilities in Copilots. So basically now Copilot can be triggered through events rather than just conversations, and uh, it can help uh, users, like it can help people define their workflows or automate their day-to-day workflows. So one of the example is like uh, setting up a automation on top of a mailbox, in wherein whenever a new mail is arrived in a mailbox, Copilot will help understand the intent of email, and based on the intent it checks whether it is related to the IT incident, or it is related to some customer query, or it is related to some previous conversation that has happened in past. So based on these identified intent, it perform next actions like uh, putting up a order, or replying with the query based on the data in the database like CRM and other systems, and finally closing the ticket or the incident in the system. So let's see.
Copilots can now react to more than chats, to events, actions, schedules, and more. For example, we can set a trigger on our new IT Help Desk Copilot, activating it when a new employee is hired. This triggers a complex, multi-day workflow, from sending an email, asking the employee to pick their preferences, to getting any exceptions approved, to updating the hiring manager. What's more, you can view how the Copilot is handling these processes and how many times a human has had to get involved. You can even teach it to do something else. For example, here I see that more than 24% of new hardware requests are now requesting an exception, and you can simply tell the Copilot to limit exceptions to only designer roles that may need non-standard hardware. These powerful agentic capabilities transform Copilots from working with you to working for you, now in limited preview.
Another feature that is introduced is memories. Like it saves the data that has been shared previously. So, for example, if during the previous interaction you have shared your details, like you are a software engineer and you stay in the particular place and you use particular car, and so in the future interactions, Copilot will provide the responses considering all those data points that it has received uh, in the past. So basically, it provides more contextual and more personal responses. Again, this is kind of early access preview, so you need to register to get access. Another thing is that now Copilots are more secure. So basically, all the Copilot is HIPAA, high trust, and PCI compliant, and there is a complete admin control and governance. So through the Microsoft M365 Compliance Center, you can get audit logs for different activities that has been done on the Copilot. And on top of it, it is a um, surety or the guarantee from Microsoft on the responsible AI, where there is a complete protection against the attacks and the control on the content what is being shared by the Copilot. So uh, next important feature is now you can interact with Copilots just like another pupil. So you can involve Copilot in your team's interactions. So in this particular example where I'm showing is that the person is asking another colleague on some budget information, and that person introduce Copilot to get that detail. So if you see, like Silver is asking Mahesh about budget review meeting, and then then she is inquiring about whether she has budget for a specific purchase, wherein Mahesh included the Copilot, which basically checks within the backend like what are the current budget information, what is the available budget, and based on that, it provides its response. Now coming to the uh, another milestone which is related to the Copilot and SharePoint and Viva connections. So Copilot in SharePoint is named as Click to Copilot. Basically, this is kind of a no-code, low-code solution for having Copilot in SharePoint sites. So you can easily create and share Copilot within 90 seconds. I would say you can edit, you can provide some descriptions, you can define the prompts and other aspects of the Copilot for your site, and it is very easy. It can be further extended to M365 Copilots and other Copilots that are there in Microsoft ecosystem. Again, we can divide the Copilots in SharePoint in two categories. First one is like built-in Copilot, which is available for every SharePoint site, and it is grounded in the content of the site. Whereas the custom Copilot, again, you can customize the Copilots that are available in SharePoint. You can uh, provide access to specific content on the site, like specific libraries or specific folders or documents in the site, on based on which it will provide its response. Again, the built-in Copilot as well as the custom Copilot can be customized further by providing uh, more like some custom prompts and other aspects. In addition to that, built-in Copilot have a additional feature wherein site owner can control the Copilots on their sites. So let's quickly see this particular demo where we can see in the left like how we can edit the Copilot, built-in Copilot. You can provide uh, different details associated with the Copilot like name, description. You can provide the image of the Copilot that will appear. You can define the sources of the Copilot, like by default it is for entire site. However, you can further define it to a specific document library. Then you can define the behavior of the Copilot, like the welcome message that it will show, some of the starter prompts that you can see uh, in the Copilot, and other than that, you can also define further instructions, or you can customize it further using Copilot Studio. And in addition to that, you can check the Copilot functionality directly from this pane, where you can test the by putting in different prompts in the Copilot. So once you're fine, you can like save it, and it will appear on the left panel in the SharePoint site. So as I mentioned, like you can further extend these copilots which are available in SharePoint by using the Copilot Studio. So you can point it to additional knowledge bases, be it the SharePoint, OneDrive, or other knowledge sources like databases or other third-party applications. You can further customize by adding actions and plugins into the Copilot, and then you can publish and deploy in the Copilot Studio so that it is available. Now let's see this in action.
It's not just Microsoft Copilot that can be extended with Copilot Studio. Let's look at another example of how you can extend a Copilot within SharePoint. This SharePoint site has all the event details for a major event, Relicon 2024. The attendees can quickly get information from the Copilot. However, employees looking for food vendor information couldn't get answers from the Copilot due to the information not being available on SharePoint. To fix it, the Copilot can easily be customized via Copilot Studio to connect to external sources. With a simple click, the user is now able to continue editing their Copilot in Copilot Studio's full authoring experience. Relicon's catering vendor information is available as records in Dataverse. From Copilot Studio, it can easily be added as additional knowledge sources. And to give attendees even more menu details, they can also add the catering vendor's public website as another knowledge source. This way, the Copilot can answer any additional meal questions from the attendees. Providing information is great, but the Copilot can take it further by allowing attendees to submit their meal choices ahead of the event. This can be easily done by adding an action in Copilot Studio. In this case, the action updates employees' meal choice as part of the attendee records in Dataverse. There you have it. Now the Copilot will take the action automatically without needing additional configuration. When they're satisfied with the Copilot's additional capabilities, they can easily publish their changes to become available on the Relicon 2024 SharePoint site. Now employees can get all the event information they need when they chat with the Relicon 2024 Copilot in SharePoint. With the enhancement from Copilot Studio, they can easily get catering vendor info and ask follow-up questions on the meal menu from sources outside of SharePoint. When they're ready, the Copilot can use actions to collect their meal choice conversationally before attending Relicon 2024. With Microsoft Copilot Studio, the options to extend are limitless. You can extend Copilot for Sales, Copilot for Service, Copilot for Insights, Viva, Copilot in Power Apps, Copilot for Finance, and more.
If we talk about Viva connections, again, we can create a Copilot, custom Copilot for Viva connection using Copilot Studio. So for that, we can design the flow and we can create custom adaptive card in our Copilot while creating it in Copilot Studio. So you can use vast features and the connectors that are available as part of Copilot Studio. So while adding this custom Copilot design for Viva Connections in Viva Connections page, you can again add that custom Copilot card in the Viva Connections page, and you can use it as per the functional requirement. Let's quickly see how it works. So for this particular example, this is the Viva Connection site, and you can see the card designer on the page. Once you edit that, you can see the Copilot Studio options available on the edit window. And once you click on it, if you have published Copilot for Viva Connection, it will start appearing in that. Sorry, let's yeah. I'm playing the video again, just give me a minute. So as you can see, like you can select the card designer, and then you can edit the page, and it will open a edit pane where you can select the Copilot Studio. So once you select the Copilot Studio, and if you have published a Copilot which is for Viva Connection, it will start appearing. So in this current case, we have used the Stock Assist Copilot, which is designed to help users to place orders for our inventory based on the inventory. So users can request for new orders, or they can view their existing orders. So through this pane, they can further customize the appearance of this custom Copilot in the Viva connection. So they can define the card size like medium or large. They can define the heading, and they can again provide descriptions and prompts. So this particular case will just go with the description, and it will start appearing on the top, like how it appears on how it will appear on the page. So once it is fine, you can publish it, and it will you refresh the Viva Connections page, and if you click on show more, it will show that card on the bottom, which is this order management. Once user click on this order management, it will show the adaptive card that is designed through Copilot Studio, through which user can put a request for a new purchase from the inventory of different items. So once they select it, they select the quantity, and they click on a request, and bingo, they have placed the order through the Viva connection using Copilot, which is created using Copilot Studio. So now comes the SharePoint Embedded. SharePoint Embedded is a kind of a very recent offering or a feature that is from Microsoft, where you can create custom applications using the infrastructure of Microsoft 365. So basically, you can store files and data in the SharePoint containers, which are hosted on the tenant on which these apps are or apps are used. So basically, ISVs, and you can create a line of business applications, and these SharePoint embedded is using Microsoft 365 security and compliance. So it has all the security that is applied on the data or the M365 level, and it comes with a vast amount of rich APIs, which you can use to define or develop the SharePoint embedded applications. On top of this, now these SharePoint embedded applications are Copilot ready, which means that you can you can add a custom Copilot on top of SharePoint embedded apps. So this is more of a pro code features, I would say. So again, if we talk from the overall Copilot stack, so uh, so whatever files are stored in SharePoint, that can be again consumed by the Microsoft 365 Copilot system, and Copilot is automatically added into the semantic index, and all the vector embeddings are generated. And as I mentioned earlier, like it utilizes all the security descriptors associated with the content to ensure that the security that has been defined on the content uh, is intact uh, while Copilot is processing the content. And one more thing is that all the data will stay in the tenant where that particular data is hosted. So it will not leave the boundary of the tenant. So this is a like one sample application for HR, where which is developed using SharePoint embedding. In the right section, you can see there is a virtual assistant which is developed using Visual Studio, uh, and provide the Copilot experience on the SharePoint embedded applications. And here you can see the sample code snippet, wherein like you can see in the code there is an option to provide the authentication, the controller. You can set the theme of the Copilot that you're developing. You can define the prompts or the suggested prompts or meta prompts. So basically, SharePoint Embedded Copilot comes with a rich set of APIs to achieve different features and functionality within Copilot. So these are like both SharePoint Embedded and SharePoint Copilot is in private preview. So if you want to get access to this, you can go through these URLs, or you can scan these QR codes. Okay, now comes Copilot in Microsoft Teams. So Microsoft Teams Copilot uh, till now, we are seeing the Teams, like Copilot in Teams meeting, which is more of a meeting assistant, and now it has moved one step further, where it is uh, more of a team member, where it helps in facilitating the teams, or act as a group collaborator, or act as a project manager, where it can assign tasks, or it can track the status of the task that has been assigned to the team members.
Microsoft Copilot is evolving from your personal AI assistant to your team AI assistant. Introducing Team Copilot, a new, valuable team member helping everyone achieve more together. You'll be able to add Copilot as a meeting facilitator, taking notes during the discussion that everyone can edit and add during the meeting, along with follow-up tasks and actions for everyone to see. Sharing and managing the agenda with the team, keeping the conversation on track, and integration with Teams Rooms ensures Copilot can continue taking notes, even for ad hoc meetings. You'll be able to add Copilot as a collaborator in chats, keeping everyone aligned with up-to-date insights as the conversation happens, and interacting with the team, responding to questions based on messages and shared files. You'll be able to add Copilot as a project manager, creating project plans with tasks and goals, and assigning them to team members. Copilot can also take on completing tasks on behalf of the group, notifying team members when input is needed, and facilitating group collaboration to complete the task. With Team Copilot evolving to provide team assistance, your team will be more productive, collaborative, and creative together. Microsoft Copilot.
Okay. So another functionality is like agent, or agent Copilot as an agent, where you can build custom Copilot that can act as an agent. And as I've seen, like in the previous video, where it shows like how it can help proactively act on certain activities the way, instead of triggering based on the conversation, it can trigger based on different events. So you can use this agents to automate long running business processes, or it can reason over actions and user inputs. Based on the different inputs, it can further optimize the next course of actions. And it can also leverage memory to bring in the context, like based on the user preferences and past user conversations. And it can optimize itself based on the feedback that it has received from the users.
Redefine business processes with Copilot Studio. Create copilots that act as agents, working independently for you. Simply describe what you want your Copilot to do. Easily configure your Copilot with the details it needs, like instructions, triggers, knowledge, and actions. Quickly test your Copilot before you deploy, and seamlessly publish across multiple channels. Watch it use memory for context, reason over user input, and manage long-running tasks. Copilot can learn from feedback to improve. And you're always in control. Put Copilot to work for you with Copilot Studio.
Now comes the very important announcement around Copilot in automation, or Power Automate. So with this, one of the biggest feature is like you can now create Copilot by providing the conversations. Like you can use, like it internally uses AI to create or set up a Copilot based on the instructions that you provide in the AI flow. So based on the instruction, it checks within the LLM runtime and provide the right structure of the overall flow. Again, it is Again, it is like it get data or context from the graph APIs, so provide better recommendations based on the M365 usages and the current logged in user role and the different data that they are interacting, like the emails or other files that they are working on. In addition to that, Automation Center was introduced during build, which is currently in public preview. So through Automation Center, you can analyze the flows and you can see insights around your automations. You can get actionable recommendations and which can help you like prioritize what all things you need to address first. And it is again integrated with Copilot so that you can get your responses or you can get answers to your questions through the Copilot about your automation. From the RPA perspective, there is uh, very major announcements wherein you can record overall flow of execution using your natural language. Like while speaking, you can define your flow or actions that has to be performed through UI automation. And there is a self-healing capability that has been introduced where uh, UI automations can heal themselves. Say, for example, if there is a change in UI element in the RPA flow, so it will automatically checks for the correct UI element and suggests for the change. And the next thing is like you can create your flow or RPA flows by just describing those requirements. So let's see this in action.
Walk me through your processes using your voice and screen, and I'll help you all this.
First, I go to Outlook and find emails with invoice attachments. For each invoice, I grab the vendor name, vendor email, due date, and the amount, and copy it into the invoicing app.
So if I have to summarize overall Power Automate enhancements, so they are like cloud flows, UI automation, wherein we have some major announcements in the RPA, like how you can use natural language to define your flows or how you can use conversations to create AI flows. Then the Automation Center that has been newly introduced. Okay, so these are this is again in preview, so you can scan this code to join the preview or the early access research panel. Okay, so yeah, that's all from my side for this day. If you have any questions.
Hey, Sarah.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Thank you so much for the session. That was a great refreshment on what exactly happened at the Microsoft Build 2024. So we have a couple of questions. So I have multiple questions on this. So it's from Steve and a couple of more people. So I'll put it as a one single question and frame it as one. So you've spoke about the Copilot. You spoke about the services where Copilot is kind of existing and what are the features you can kind of leverage. Now, my question is, how do we get an access to Copilot? Like, what is the subscription hierarchy or protocol? Is it like for students, what is the feasibility or what are the options available if you're a developer or if you're a startup owner? Do you have details about those Copilot subscriptions or access? We'd like to share
Yeah.
some of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so for Copilot Studio, there are like two subscriptions that you need to subscribe to. One is the tenant level license, which is kind of a free for every M365 business or enterprise subscription. Then there is a usage-based or consumption-based license. So basically, you can as a developer or as a administrator, you can create your Copilot uh, custom copilots using Copilot Studio. But for an end user, you need to have a license or consumption license or the pay-as-you-go based licenses. So, which is kind of I'm not sure about the pricing, but it is somewhere like $200, 200 for 25,000 conversation or something like that. And for some of the like if you are extended Copilot in your M365 or any first party Copilots, then it uses some of the AI builder capacity to for the conversations. So yeah.
Right. Thanks, Saurabh. So another question that we have is like, okay, we've seen a lot about the Copilot, what it could do, how it could kind of generate image, analyze images, or for the matter of drafting emails, sending invites, a lot of things. But definitely there might be some kind of limitations with these versions, right? So what do you think the limitation could be like? Well, that we should be aware as a developer
Yeah.
or person using it, whether in terms
Yeah.
of security or in terms of content or something. For a first-time user, when you're introducing something like this, we have to inform them about the pros and the cons, right?
Right, yeah. So there are definitely limitations in terms of how much content it can process at a time. Like how much, suppose if you are developing a custom copilot with ability to attach files or images, then there is a size limitation, like you cannot upload files which are greater than certain MBs. So I'm not sure about the exact file size that limitation is there, but definitely there are some limitation. And if you are passing in the prompt in the Copilot, like what is the how many characters or how many word it can accept in a one go. So there are certain limitations. So definitely I can share a link after this meeting in the chat or somewhere where it can details out all those limitations with the Copilot.
Definitely, that would be handy. So we will drop in the link. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think I'm done with the questions. But thank you so much. That was a great insight refreshment on the latest updates from the Microsoft Build 2024. Thank you for being on Copilot Chronicles. Looking forward to it. And Parth, thank you so much for being a great host. So see you all in the next season of Copilot Chronicles with more industry leaders, more MVPs, or more technology expert talking about Copilot in terms of Microsoft services. And if you have any questions, just drop in, or if you have any suggestions, or if you would love to be a part of this Copilot Chronicles, just drop us and DM, and we will get back to you. Thank you all once again. Have a nice evening. Bye.